What's up? I think we're live. I tried to just join my pre-existing stream. Maybe there's a way to do that, because I am just streaming the charts also at the same time. So I was thinking I could hop on there. But it just didn't work. I'm just checking, make sure I'm not echoing again. Sounds good. All right. So I just wanted to hop in for a little bit today, just a few minutes, just to try to stay consistent. And let's just take a look at the market. You might hear Rex in the background. Hopefully he's not too noisy with all his chewing. I could probably... Alright. I think that's pretty good. So let me pull up the charts so you guys can see them. Voila. There we go. Looking at SPY on the day, and I actually had a couple good trades today. You can see I got in right here at 13, out at 26. And look at that. I only held that for 2 minutes. So 100% gain in 2 minutes. And that's exactly the kind of title and thumbnail that apparently got me into the situation of getting my channel demonetized. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It says I make claims, unverified claims, or sorry, my fan just turned on. It will say that I make claims without showing proof and things like that, but obviously I've never done that. Anyone that's watched the channel knows I'm completely honest and transparent, and I'll show you guys exactly how I made 100% in 2 minutes right now. So maybe it'll be different live. Rex, do you want to say hi? Hi, buddy. Let me say hi to the camera real quick. Say hi. Talk in the mic. Good boy. Good boy. Let me get him something else really quick. Okay, he's good. Alright, so let's take a look at SPY. And I'll tell you guys what I did today to make 100%. Now, I didn't even update my title or my thumbnail for this video. So, again, I'm just going to keep it brief. Just trying to stay consistent. And in case anyone out there wants some help from today, specifically. Jeez. And again, he might be too loud right now. I don't know. You guys let me know if he's a little too noisy. I'll try to edit the microphone settings and also give him something. I feel like I'm talking loud over him, so I don't know if maybe I'll just turn my mic down. Maybe that will be fine. Or maybe I just need like a dog cam so it like is at least entertaining for you guys at the same time. Bud, you're wild, man. He's getting so big and strong. It's nuts. Okay, so back to business. I'll show you guys. Let me switch the chart here. And this is the RSI and TTM. If you're not familiar, these are a couple of very common indicators. A lot of the time you'll see TTM or you'll see the MACD more often. I've kind of grown more fond of the TTM. I just kind of liked where I could, see the changes happening a little bit better on the MACD. Excuse me. On the MACD, it just wasn't quite lining up with my strategies as much. But as you can see here, you can see where the trend reverses. We are oversold territory here. If you're not familiar with the RSI, around 30-ish or so is oversold, and around 50 to 70 is overbought. So expect a bounce or a rejection when you see that happen. And you can see the same thing kind of correlate here on the TTM, and this is the daily chart. So let's change this. You look at the hour a little bit more zoomed in. You can see we are creeping on a huge drop. Honestly, puts a week out might be a good move. Now, I don't have much buying power for the day, but I could take a swing trade, go a week out. Market is starting to drop as I speak, actually. getting wild, getting wet and wild. So be careful out there. Be careful. Let me play with this, dude. Play with that. Yeah. Get it. Okay. So looking at the chart on SPY, let's zoom in to the 1 minute. And I'll show you how I caught this. And I actually missed the first part of the move right here. I was ready, but I got a little distracted. And it could have been a nice 300% profit in just a few minutes. Okay, 1 second. Let me just... Dude, you're lucky you're cute. Let me just help him out with something a little bit more quiet. I'll go through this nice and clean, and that'll pretty much be a wrap on the day. But thank you guys for dropping by. I know the thumbnail and everything isn't even probably making sense. I mean, it is Power Hour, so it's relevant. But really, I'm just going to do a recap of my trades for the day. And so far, I've traded 3 days, and my account was up 95% in the last 3 days. So, you know, base hits add up quick. So 1 second, I'll be right over here. Hey, buddy. Getting this little savage a treat. Something a little softer. A little more quiet. Alright, dude. Here you go, buddy. There you go. Nothing like a good old beef tendon. They smell horrible. It's alright, though. That's love. Being a vegetarian and giving your dog beef tendons. Nice. Nice. So anyways, where were we? Straight to business. Let me make sure the audio is good, because I'm going to try to clip this. Alright, so anyways, I think that sounds pretty good. Rex, how do you get that out so quick? Drop it. Drop it. Good boy. I try to shove it in these things, and he's too strong. He'll get things out no problem every time. And he's such a good boy. He's just looking at me right now, licking his lips. Good boy. Okay, so anyways, now that I had to touch that greasy beef tendon again. His favorite thing in the world is beef tendons and pig ears, no doubt. Pig ears, if I could give him those every day, I would, but unhealthy, unfortunately. But that would keep him pretty busy, like enough for a good stream, you know? Anyways, I am just kind of rambling on. And again, later I am going to try to do a stream, maybe just a gaming stream and hanging out and talking like some skateboarding stuff. So if that's interesting to anyone out there, that will be happening. But you will see, and I'll have the thumbnail ready for that too. Right now everything is a little just kind of chaotic, very random. You know, I'm just trying to get the ball rolling here. Trying to not lose my voice while I'm talking. And also, I'm just going through it with YouTube right now. Just waiting. I'm in limbo getting remonetized right now. So, you know, I don't want to keep everyone waiting forever. And I don't want to just abandon the channel. It's just frustrating because I spent so much time building up to that point, and then you get there, and then it is what it is. So I will evolve, and we'll keep on keeping on. So let's cover this trade. How I made 100% in 2 minutes today trading SPY. And I am not a financial advisor. And here is a quick disclaimer. But that should cover all my bases. YouTube, please do not hold this against me. And I sound crazy, but the disclaimer will be probably in the video edit. There is no disclaimer right now. Maybe I should have it ready to put on the screen. I don't know. We're just winging it. But if you've seen my recent videos, they all have a disclaimer in the beginning. And I'm trying to cut it down and shorten it because it's like 30 seconds, and I feel like it just makes you want to click away. I don't know. But it's unfortunate because a lot of people can get away without even putting one up there, and even big channels can get away with all kinds of stuff. But yeah. So without getting distracted, today I made 100% in 2 minutes on Spy, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it, completely transparent from start to finish. Let's get right into it. So as you guys know, or maybe you don't, I love trading SPY options. That's my bread and butter. I've spent years now practicing, harnessing this ability to trade, and I find that I'm very good at it. I'm not a professional financial advisor, but I have spent thousands of hours studying and trading charts. Been trading since 2018. Been trading options for about almost 5 years now, on top of that, and mainly dedicated to them. So let me show you exactly what I was looking for and how I got into this. And even with making that profit, I still left a lot on the table. Now, I was looking for this break of resistance this morning. I saw we're in a downtrend. Now, yesterday we hit all-time highs, and the odds of that carrying over into Friday and again hitting all-time highs is very low. Typically, what you'll see on a Friday is just less volume. People are tired. They want to get ready for the weekend. There's just not as much trading activity. So oftentimes you'll see the market either consolidate, or you can see a move to the downside, which is what happens more often than not. Once in a while you'll have a rally, but given that we hit all-time highs yesterday, I could see some profit taking happening. So once we were in this downtrend and we bounced off 683, came up, hit resistance right here at 685.50ish, then I was feeling pretty confident to get ready to grab a put. So that's when I pulled up the options charts, and I was looking between, honestly, a week out and same day, depending on how much time I had at the moment, because I was getting ready to drop my kids off at school. So again, doing this with the time that I have is the thing I love about trading too, is you don't have to spend hours and hours. You can make a whole day's wages and a half hour if you play it out right. So you can spend all day trading and lose money, or you can spend a half hour trading and make money. It's just all about how you go about it, and of course not over trading, learning when to walk away and things like that. But what I did was pull up the charts, took a look at the options so I can figure out which one I wanted to look for. I had about $30 of buying power, I think, maybe 27. Excuse me. And then I went back to the chart and was just kind of waiting for it. Now, unfortunately, I looked away, was doing a little Christmas shopping right when the market broke support right here. And the contract I was looking at that was 12, which was the 575 puts, went from 12 to like $40. And I mean, a blink of an eye, and there's no way I was about to chase it at that point. So I waited a little bit, and you can see I got in. Let's hopefully, why isn't it scrolling? You could see I sold. What is going on? Oh, I need to scroll down. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so you can see right here at 11:03, let's go back to this. At 11:03, which would be 8:03 on here. Right about there. My gosh. Quiet. I can just hear the dog chewing. Good boy, Rex. Man, that threw me off track. I was on a nice roll. I was feeling right back to my old self. So back to back to the chart. So at 8:03, I decided to get back in. Now, why at 8:03? Well, I saw us come down here after that huge sell-off, and I didn't want to chase it. I was a little bit patient, waited for it to come back up and reject again to see if it was going to continue, rather than getting in right here immediately, or within this big red candle. Sometimes that can play out for you, but other times you're just catching a falling knife, and that thing just bounces right back up, and a contract you paid $20 for can quickly go back down to 15, $5 in just a blink of an eye. So you don't want to be on the wrong end of that. Be patient. And what I did was I got in here at 803 with the 671 put. Now keep in mind, I was looking at 675s for the same price just a few minutes before. That's how quick things can happen. So I got in right here at 803, held it for just 2 minutes and 9 seconds, if I'm doing the math right, and got out right here at 806. I wasted no time. Volatility was up at the moment, and so I was seeing a lot of fluctuations within the options books. And it's very important, if you don't have level 2, that you get level 2. And what that is right above my head. You can see the order book. And what I do when I'm trading is I'm watching this very closely. So for this one at 13, I was watching the chart, watching the order book. I don't want to be the first one to buy the contract at $13. I want to be one of the last if possible. Once in a while, you can be the very last, depending on what you're trading, whether it's a week out or if you're trading smaller, stocks that just move slower, you can easily get one. But often with one day till expire, things like that, some of these contracts that are way far out that are only $5-10, you can be the last one in there, which happens more often than you'd probably expect. But that's, not what you want to do. You want to just try to get in there in that last group so that as soon as you get in, you're break even basically right away. That way, if it doesn't look like it's going to continue, you could try to, only take the loss of the fees, which is just a few cents, or maybe $1 if you want to be more patient. But what that does is allow me to be more patient. Instead of strictly looking at the chart and being like, oh, I want to get in here, sometimes you can get faked out pretty easily if you're just looking at the chart, especially if you're looking at the 15-second chart without looking at anything else. This will this will play with your mind. So if you're new to trading, I highly recommend you're flipping around between 1, 5, 15. Get used to it, and depending on how long you want to hold, that's really how long of a time frame you want to be looking through. So if you think you want to hold for 5 minutes, you don't want to be too risky. Maybe you want to go a week out. Then I would look at a 5-minute chart. That way you don't psych yourself out if you're looking at a 15-second chart, because you will easily. And then next thing you know, you're like, crap, I should have zoomed out. I clearly had support there. But depending on your time frame, you might not. So typically that's what I'm looking for, and I'm always watching this 15-second chart along with the 1 minute, 3 minute, and then the hour up here, just to keep in mind where those next levels are going to be. Because when you do break support, you want to mark what the key level will be next and take note of it. That way you know the potential. Today I knew the potential was around 679. If it kept going throughout the day, 678 was the next key level of support, as you can see right there. Once that breaks, it's starting to get dicey. And once we get into the 676 range, I think we'll pretty quickly probably go between 677 to 675 pretty fast. And you can see that previous support right there. So there's historically been a fast move from 681 to 677. So that is actually pretty interesting. If I change this 1 hour chart to a 4 hour chart, you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. These old lines I drew on here. Where are we at? So you can see we've already made a move right there. We have not traded a ton of volume, and to top it all off, there has been a gap back in the day. Now it's filled, but there has been very little volume very little volume traded within that gap to fill it. So that means I would expect some fast moves. Exactly what I was saying, and this really just confirms it. Yeah, 675 will be pretty quick. And this really lines up with today and how that played out too. Because really we filled that same price range that the gap was. Another fast move. So just getting used to the charts and being on top of that will make a huge difference. But again, back to SPY. Got in and out right here. See, it wasn't even a big move. It's just the preparation that makes the huge difference. And again, I missed the meat of the move. I missed this big move right here. I could have made a few 100% in just a couple minutes. or even just a minute, honestly. Just for fun, let's just take a look at it so you can see what I'm talking about. Rex, do you mind, bud? Do you mind? What? Can you come here? Come. 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 Come here. Rex, come. Why are you being so lazy right now, boy? Come here. Alright, I don't want to pick you up. Sometimes he'll just look at me just so lazy. Rex, come. Come here. Alright. Anyways, so looking at the 675s real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. Look at this. Explosion. This thing went absolutely nuts today. And I just missed it. It was frustrating, but hey. It is what it is, you know? I've been a part of these many times. And I've missed them many times, and many more will come and go. But this should excite you. If you've never traded options or you're new to trading options, look at the potential. I was looking to get in at 12, and it hit 68. And what is that? What is that, you ask? Well, from this candle, 10 to 68, 580%. What is that, in 5 minutes? 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 minutes, 500% gain. That's huge potential. Now, odds are I probably would have locked in profit in the 20s, or I would have got stopped out. Buddy, please. That's too loud right now. That's too loud. Come here. Oh, come here, buddy. So, that is what I would do for the day. No biting. No biting. Good boy. Can you say hi, Rex? No biting. Good boy. Such a pup. No biting. No biting. Good boy. Hey. Where's your chew toy? Bite that. Bite that. Okay. Well, we are out. As you can see, I'm moving the curtains. Rex. Rex. No biting. He's such a little savage. Okay. Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy. Hey. No biting. No. No. Lay down. Lay down. Sit. Good boy. Anyways, I am out for the day. That's a wrap. And we're going to keep these going. I don't even know how many people saw this. Doesn't even really matter, honestly, because I didn't promote it. So it is what it is. However many YouTube pushed it out to. And I think it's going to be a struggle until they finish the review process or whatever. I think that affects the algorithm quite a bit. Thumbnail doesn't help much either. So anyways, thank you all so much for coming by. And I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy. I hope this video helped you guys, gave you, some insight on how I trade and how to make 100% in 2 minutes. It's not a joke. It's not fake. There's no trickery going on here. I'm completely transparent. You see exactly what I did. Buddy, that's it. Hope you stay happy and healthy.